Enjoy the convenience of 7 days a week banking and extended hours with Cube from First Arkansas Bank and Trust. Member FDIC. It's time for From the Short Grass with Trey Schaap, a golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around trying to put it in a 4 1/4 inch diameter hole. From the Short Grass is brought to you by Stevens Incorporated, an independent financial services firm with the freedom to focus on what matters most. Blackman Auctions. For over 80 years, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. We partner with you to deliver high-yield results by managing, developing, and investing in top-quality hospitality assets. And now, from the Short Grass, here is your host, Trey Schaap.
Welcome to another edition of From the Short Grass. I am your host, Trey Schaap. Rory McIlroy is the 2022 FedEx Cup champion. He comes from 6 shots behind world number 1 Scottie Scheffler in the final 18 holes at East Lake in Atlanta to win the Tour Championship and pocket $18 million with the victory. Here is Rory after his win.
Thankfully I was in that last group because, I was able to put some pressure on him early on, and then, that coupled with him not having his best stuff today, it was actually I felt like going into the back nine, not that it was mine to lose, but I had all the momentum and going out today, I was like, if I can get it within 3 going into the back nine, I thought that would be, a really good front 9 holes. And, I think we were tied for the lead on the 10th tee. So, incredible day, incredible week. 4 over through 2 holes, 10 shots out of the lead at that point to claw my way back and end up winning the tournament. Incredible, just a real, really proud of my resilience and how I sort of handled that start and just sort of stuck my head down and kept going all week and took advantage of the opportunity that I was given today.
So Rory pockets $18 million, and a reporter after his victory asked him if there was anything more that he can take away after the win at East Lake.
Back in 2019, I took down the number 1 player in the world in Brooks Koepka. This year, I took down the number 1 player in the world, Scottie Scheffler. So I know that my best stuff is good enough to win any tournament against anybody on any golf course. So, that's something I can take away from today.
Now that the 2022 PGA Tour season has officially come to a close, there have been more players leave the PGA Tour for LIV Golf. Most notably, Cam Smith, the 2022 Players Champion, has left for LIV Golf, along with Joaquin Niemann, Mark Leishman, and Rabban Lahiri, Harold Varner III, and Cameron Tringali. They will make their debut in Boston. Coming up on this edition of From the Short Grass, I sit down with Arkansas graduate senior linebacker Bumper Pool. Bumper has a great story about being a multiple sport athlete in high school, which included being on the golf team, and a runner-up finish to one of the most powerful programs in golf in the state of Texas when he was in high school. You will want to hear this story. Blackman Auctions. Since 1938, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. Go on their website, blackmanauctions.com, look at their lineup of upcoming auctions, and find one that you want to attend. Blackman Auctions. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
With all the decisions you need to make about what to do in El Dorado, finding a place to stay is an easy one. The Haywood is uniquely positioned to make your stay one to treasure. Located in the historic Union Square district of El Dorado, the Haywood offers luxurious accommodations that feature contemporary, colorful rooms with high-quality bedding, comfortable baths with walk-in showers, and a spacious workspace with stylish plantation shutters that are unique additions to the stunning decor in a non-smoking environment. Make the Haywood your home away from home the next time you visit El Dorado.
This is Thomas Blackman with Blackman Auctions. The economy is changing slowly but surely. The market is slowing down in a gradual slide. Not an emergency yet, the sky is not falling, but a change is coming. When times are good, auctions make buyers compete to buy at the highest market value. When the economy gets tough, auctions force buyers to make a purchase decision. Either way, auctions get the highest return for a seller and a strong deal for a buyer. With an experienced auction company, it's a simple process. Go to blackmanauctions.com for more information. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass. Recently, I traveled to Northwest Arkansas and Fayetteville and the University of Arkansas and sat down with, as Sam Pittman calls them, super seniors. I sat down with Bumper Pool, a super senior on this Arkansas football team. Bumper had a chance to leave after last year, but decided to come back for one final year to suit up for the Razorbacks and play in the toughest conference in America, the SEC. On the tee, Bumper Pool.
Bumper, welcome to From the Shortgrass. We're going to talk a lot of golf, but first, let's just talk a little bit of football. Obviously, you're, as Sam Pittman calls, one of those super seniors on this football team. What's it like coming back for another year of Razorback football?
It's exciting because our where we're at as a team, I think, from this year and last year is completely different. And getting to come back for another senior year, you kind of look at it with a whole different perspective. Going into the workouts, the fall camp, it's your last one, so you can give it truly everything that you have because you're not going to have another opportunity at it. And just kind of seeing where we're at as a team, just so exciting and very. I'm looking forward to getting to show the fans what we've been working for.
For you personally, what does it mean from when you came into this program where it was not winning an SEC game to where it is now?
Yeah, I mean it's something that you don't ever take for granted. I think every time you have a win, it's that much sweeter. We've been through so much, and get to be where we were and to be where we are now. I think that you have a lot more gratitude for it, and just the work that you put in. That you never want to go back.
Being a linebacker in the SEC takes a toll on the body. 100 tackles, over 100 tackles 2 years ago, over 100 tackles last year. You're on line, and the forecast looks like you will be the all-time leading tackler here at the University of Arkansas. Does that mean something to you?
It means a lot. It means one thing to me and another thing to my body. Like you said, there'll be, there's wear and tear from just playing over the years, but it's an honor, and I hope that I can continue to, go out there this season, do my best to, if it's making tackles to help us win, and then at the end of it, look back and, see where we're at.
Being right behind that defensive line, a lot of question marks going into the season on the defensive line. What do you see from your position?
I see a group that's honestly improved tremendously. There was a lot of question marks coming in, and I feel like we've seen a lot of guys prove that they can play in the SEC. They go against one of the best offensive lines in the SEC every day. So I think our offensive line is making our defensive line better, and just kind of building depth because it's a position where guys are rolling in and out throughout the entire game. So building depth is good, and there's been a lot of guys that have been very impressive to watch.
And then obviously being a defensive guy, what do you see from what the offense is able to put together?
Fall camp, I think last fall camp, we, as a defense felt like we were doing a lot of good things, stopping our offense. And this year we have some real talent in our receiver room. KJ's throwing the ball really well. So just seeing all the weapons that they have and knowing how dynamic that they are, it's exciting and, something that, I'm glad that once the season starts, they're going against somebody else's defense.
All right, let's talk a little golf. You were a multi-sport athlete in high school. When did you first pick up a golf club, though?
I first picked up a golf club probably I was putting with my dad when he would go play when I was real little, probably 7 or 8. And then once I got to middle school and, finally had some more freedom, our parents would drop us off at the golf course and then we'd be there all day and then they'd pick us up. So it was kind of like our little freedom getaway. And so I just fell in love with the game. Something that, I did play it in high school, but getting to play golf was my getaway from everything else.
Were you self-taught, or did you have some lessons? Did you take any lessons?
My dad taught me my swing. He played in high school, and so he was a really good golfer, and then so basically he just taught me my swing.
What do you like about the game?
I think it's one of the most mentally strenuous games. I think you learn so much about yourself, your composure, and just things that carry over in life. It's how golf is, and I love how hard it is. And so whenever you play well, you know that you truly did play well, and you kind of you'll be excited about your round a couple hours after you get finished.
Who were some of the guys that you looked up to when you were growing up that were golfers that you thought, man, I maybe one day potentially if I could be like him?
I never looked at golf like I could go play on the professional level. For me, it was a getaway from what football was for me, which that was my dream. So for me, it was like I can go out here, have a great time, hit shots when I hit a good one. Like, wow, that was legit. But growing up, obviously, watching Tiger Woods play, there was so much excitement. I just remember as a kid, like seeing my dad being so excited about seeing how well he played. It was just cool, and I think he changed the game, and it's just a sport that now I think a lot of young guys really do enjoy playing.
You were on your high school golf team,
mm-hmm.
and tell me a little bit about that team. What was the makeup of it, and were you the number 2 player, 3 player? Where did you fit into the team?
So I played football, and then I had also wrestled, and then golf was in the spring, and so I was probably the second or third player on our team. It was a very new program we had. For me, like I didn't ever have the time to just devote it all of my time to practice and whatnot. But we were decent for our district, but we went to districts and we placed second in districts and lost to Highland Park by 90 strokes. So they have some legit guys. Seeing Scotty Scheffler now tearing it up.
Was that a little bit humbling?
Very humbling. You're as golf always is, getting to see someone that weighs 100 pounds less than you, and he's just putting it down the middle and putting it 5 feet from the pin. I could go off, start pretty well, and then I would like anything, the swing would fall apart here and there as the round went on, just because I wasn't it wasn't my main sport. And just seeing these guys grind and play a full 2-day deal and just kill it, it's just so impressive to watch.
And it was their main sport, and some of them I would assume went on to play collegiately.
Yes, I mean there was guys that I played against that went to Highland Park, went to Texas, that pipeline that they have. So every one of their golfers was going Division I, and we were all out there just kind of enjoying it and having a good time. But getting to watch them play truly was special, because you just see how big of a difference being good at golf is, or being elite at golf is.
I'm sure there's trash talk on the football field. Did you ever say anything on the golf course like, hey, why don't you come over here and get between the lines, put some pads on, and let's go at it?
Oh, these kids, I mean, yeah, they knew I played football, so like they'd be laughing at me, because I'm a lot bigger than everyone else. And I remember one day I finished up a round and I was going up 18, and I just was frustrated or something. I'm just carrying my bag by the handle up the 18th fairway, and some of the kids from HP are laughing. Like, they talk about it. I have a couple buddies that still I keep in contact with, and they always talk about that story. But
you didn't have it over your shoulder. You were just carrying the bag.
No, just carrying the bag up the fairway. I'm like, you know what, I'm done. 18 holes, I'm tired.
So here at Arkansas, do you get to play at all?
I get to play May, June, beginning of July, and then obviously the heat kicks in, and then camp starts in August. So I get about 2 months where I really lock in and play. But other than that, football just takes over. So whenever football's done, I'll finally have some more months to play.
Where do you like to play in Northwest Arkansas?
There's limited courses around here. With everything, there are not many public courses. But Fayetteville Country Club, I've got to play that a few times. Played the Blessings once. That's
What'd you think?
Incredibly difficult golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cold too. Fairways are running out. I mean, it's a beast of a golf course, but it was a great time getting to be able to go out there and play. And then like Stonebridge is a public course out here, which I play probably most of the time.
Do you talk to any of the Razorback men's golf team or the women's golf team and some of their athletes and try to ask them about the game a little bit?
Yeah, so actually Julian Perico, good friend of ours, he's on the golf team, and so, whenever he gets done with his golf clubs or whatever, he's, tossing them our way and, whatnot. And so he's been great about, he actually is the reason I got to play on the Blessings the one time. But other than that, I know a few other golfers, but just kind of like hey, what's going on? See them at the Jones and whatnot.
Do you have time to sit and watch like maybe the majors or some golf tournaments in your free time, which I know you don't have a lot of being a student athlete?
Oh yeah, I watch all the majors. I'm watching. So I'm honestly one of my favorite golfers is Jordan Spieth, and so I'll get up, watch his round if there's a featured group. I'll tune in, watch him play. So yeah, all the majors, the FedEx Cup playoff, I'll watch that. But it just depends on the event. Like, so we're members out at Craig Ranch. So the Byron Nelson's out there.
Oh yeah.
So we went out. We've been out there. The Byron Nelson, and I've been like ever since I was probably in 7th grade. That was kind of like if the week school was out or getting out, we'd all get out of school or something and head down there. So it's always a great time.
What is TPC Craig Ranch like?
It's a great course. It's a typical Texas course. Wide fairways, long, fast greens, and I mean I personally love playing it. I've played it many times, but great course. Super well kept, and everyone all the members are great people.
Growing up in Texas and playing golf, you learn how to play in the wind, don't you?
Oh yeah, and then if the wind's down, it's an easy golf course, or anywhere you play. But when the winds are up, it's you got a low flight, everything, and it's a couple clubs you're here and there.
Any guys on the team that you play with and you try to bet them at all, maybe?
Yeah, so in the past, having Grant and Hayden, John Steven, and all of my buddies, we'd all go out and play quite a bit, bet here and there.
Grant told me last year he was really good, that he was the best.
Well, yeah, you know how Grant is, in everything he does. But Grant's good. We go back and forth, so it's it's a game where if you play longer, you get better at it. And Grant, if he does anything long enough, he'll figure it out. But we've had many of rounds together, and I haven't been able to play too much with these guys, just because I feel like this summer flew by, and I was out of town here and there. But Nathan Johnson, he's a tight end on the team. He's pretty good. I've got to play with Cam Little. He's got a good swing. Hudson Clark. So it's been a good time, and glad at least I got to play a little bit with them.
Who do you think? What position group would have the best golfer from a football team?
Well, I mean, you think you're specialists because they get the most time off. It feels like, but I mean, any group that grew up swinging a baseball, baseball bat, or anything like that. Tight ends, are usually pretty good. Linebackers are, it just kind of depends on who grew up around it.
What about coaches? Are there any coaches on the team that play golf, and would you like to try and take them out and see how you would fare against them?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Shear is not very good at golf. He just picked it up. But I know Coach Kennedy plays. I'm sure they all probably play quite a bit, but I haven't. He's the only one I've ever played with currently. But, I'm sure they'll have a different story.
Is this something that obviously football you can't play for the rest of your life, but golf is a sport that you can play, well into your 70s and 80s if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about what, being the leading tackler of Arkansas means, but, I'm sure my golf game will probably, hinder it because of that, because of the wear and tear. But hopefully I'll get to, be healthy enough to play it that long.
So when you graduate and you move on, let's say you go to the NFL, you play a couple of years if that's what you want to do, and then you're done with that. Do you see yourself maybe finding some place where you can settle down and maybe be around a golf course to where you'd want to play a lot?
Absolutely. That's my plan when I get older, to move off to a golf course somewhere, be close to a body of water, and have a golf course in my backyard. So hopefully, if everything goes well, that can that will happen.
A body of water, does that mean a beach or a lake?
A beach would be nice. But if it's a lake, it's a lake.
Having your sister up here, what has that meant to you to have someone that you're so close with be a part of what you're going through too, but also to see what she went through in her time here at Arkansas?
Yeah, it's been great because having a family member so close, this place almost feels like home. It really is. And just getting to have someone, take care of you. Whenever I was a freshman, how any freshman is, having her up here really was nice. I never had that homesick feeling. And she's just, my sister will worry about every little detail of all of our family members' life. So her being up here, that, if you ever needed anything, she would take care of it.
When you're on the football field and a running back or let's say a wide receiver, tight end is coming across the middle and you're about to go in for the hit, are you face mask, head up and everything, try to watch what has kept you out of games before, and that's targeting?
Oh, well, of course. Honestly, I never thought that I'd ever get a targeting call, but the way the rules changed and everything, they're very, critical about it. But it's a good thing. I think that if you tackle properly, it will lead to less targeting penalties. But, you have to be consciously aware of that, and which I think as the game grows, people teach it better and you learn it better.
Last football question. This year will be a success for the Arkansas Razorbacks
if we can play as hard as we practice. I think that how you practice is how you play. And I feel like sometimes at some teams you get on the field and people, the bright lights affect you. And I just hope that we can take what we've done in the fall, the spring and the fall, and translate it onto the field, because we've seen a lot of good things. Me personally, just getting to watch the team and how much better we are. I just hope that it translates.
Best golf course Bumper Pool's ever played?
I played TPC Scottsdale.
Arizona.
With the stadium up, because it was right before they had the tournament. So getting to,
the 16th hole with the whole surround and everything.
The whole thing was up.
What was that like?
Oh, it was incredible. I was younger, so for Christmas my dad would we would go on a trip to a professional golf course and kind of make a trip around it, go see a bowl game or something like that. So getting to go do that and play in the course with the stadium up, unbelievable weather, great place to be.
What'd you shoot? Do you remember?
85.
Not bad.
Yeah, I was young, but it was a cool course, and we had some caddies, and every time you have some caddies, it helps out.
What's your handicap right now?
When I'm playing, so this summer it was probably a 9. So I'll 79, 83. I'm right around there.
Yeah. All right. Fantasy foursome. They can be living or deceased. You and 3 other guys or gals, golfers. Who would you like to play around with?
Of course, I would say Tiger Woods. That would be incredible. I've actually had a dream where I've played around with them, and it felt real. We were just cutting it up.
What was he saying?
I just super nice. It was it was a dream, so it felt like he was real. But it wasn't he was trying to big time anybody. He just was a regular dude. Playing with Jordan Spieth, I met him when he was playing at Craig Ranch. One day, that he'd be great to play with. Dustin Johnson seems like a cool guy.
He hits it a long way.
Yeah, he'd probably be a good time to play with.
Do you hit it a long way? You seem like you.
I can.
Do you know where it's going?
Yeah, my driver's probably my best part of my game. I can hit it long and it'll be straight. But
what's your average off the tee when you're hitting your driver?
It's
310.
It's more, probably about 315, 320. I can drive the ball pretty well.
I need you on my scramble team.
Oh yeah,
is what I need.
Great scramble partner. I'll leave the long irons to you.
Chipping and putting, good.
Chipping's good. Putting,
suspect.
Putting is just one of those things where if you don't play a lot, it's hard to get it consistent. I'm not going to say I'm a bad putter, but whenever I'm playing a lot more, I can roll them in.
How did you get the name Bumper? I know you've been asked a lot, but for this podcast, this episode, how did you get the name Bumper?
My dad, when he was in high school, told everyone in town he was going to name his first son Bumper, And, it's funny because I'll run into old, if it's high school classmates, and they're like, we're all not surprised. He told us that he was going to do it. So it's just, I'm glad because I love my name.
It's a cool name. I mean, it stands out.
Oh, yeah.
Bumper, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck this season. And maybe, when you're done with football and everything, maybe we can get Grant Morgan, you, and maybe Connor Nolan together, because I know Connor talks a big game too, and we can find a time to go play a little golf.
That sounds great. Thank you for having me.
With all the decisions you need to make about what to do in El Dorado, finding a place to stay is an easy one. The Haywood is uniquely positioned to make your stay one to treasure. Located in the historic Union Square district of El Dorado, the Haywood offers luxurious accommodations that feature contemporary, colorful rooms with high-quality bedding, comfortable baths with walk-in showers, and a spacious workspace with stylish plantation shutters that are unique additions to the stunning decor in a non-smoking environment. Make the Haywood your home away from home the next time you visit El Dorado.
This is Thomas Blackman with Blackman Auctions. You all know by now I'm not a good golfer, but my son loves the game and he and I have been playing more. I've got my score down to, I've quit playing a scramble on every hole. I'm using the bunker rake much less than I used to, and a lot of the time I hit my drives past the women's tee box. All of my success in golf can directly be tied to me listening to From the Short Grass. Without it, I would not be the golfer I am today. Trey, you owe me $20 for that. Trey knows golf, I know auctions. Come see us at BlackmanAuctions.com. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
At Stevens, our philosophy is to invest every dollar as if it were our own, to seize opportunity, to anticipate rather than react, to deliver constant focus in an ever-changing world, and to pursue the objectives of our clients in order to help them reach their financial goals. A proven history of helping companies and individuals. Stevens, member NYSE SIPC. Welcome back to From the Short Grass. BP Hotels. When you're in Northwest Arkansas, you're going up there, let's say, to watch the Razorbacks play football, basketball, baseball. Make sure you find a Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group hotel property. The Staybridge, right there south of Baumwalker Stadium, is a BP hotel property. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. Find them on the web, bphotels.com. Now, on the tee, with our rules segment, here's PGA Master Professional Adam Carney.
Adam, this comes in from Fayetteville. Justin is up there, and he says, I was playing around the other day, and I saw my ball go in a bunker. When my playing partner and I got to the bunker, I could not find my ball. What do I do?
Well, we have two rules under the circumstances here, right? So the first is it lost in the bunker? So did it fly into, say, the face of the bunker or something like that? And I've had this one 100 times where the ball just buries itself. And then the other situation is, did the ball just, roll into the bunker and somebody took it?
Somebody took it, or there might be water in the bottom of it and you can't see it.
Right. The question under the circumstances is, no one walked out there and took his golf ball and kept it as a souvenir. So he flew a ball into the bunker, maybe into the face of the bunker, maybe it's kind of some thicker, heavier sand or whatever. So it's no different than searching for a ball. You've got 3 minutes. However, there are prohibitions that you can't do when your ball's in a bunker that are essentially lifted when you're searching for it. So, I can take a golf club, I can take a rake and just start ripping the sand of the face down, trying to find that golf ball. At the end of the day, he's got to find that golf ball. Otherwise, it's lost. Yeah, exactly.
And you go back to the previous spot.
Precisely. It's one of those things where you can just start raking through the sand, pulling sand down, exposing liner, whatever you need to do, trying to find that golf ball. If you find it, then you're going to have to recreate the lie and essentially bury the golf ball again. The rules state that when your ball's in a bunker that you can remove as much sand as possible, that where you can see a part of the golf ball. So he's going to have to bury it back where he found it.
But he can still see a little bit of it.
And then remove enough sand where he can see, assuming it's a white golf ball, he can see just a little bit of white.
Justin and Fayetteville, thanks for the question. If you've got one on the rules of golf, send us an email from theshortgrass@gmail.com.
That will do it for this edition of From the Short Grass. Thank you, as always, for listening. Want to send a special thanks to Kyle Parkinson, the Sports Information Director at the University of Arkansas, for helping facilitate the interview with Bumper Pool, and thanks to Bumper Pool as well. Remember, when you find your ball mark on the green, fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you sometime soon from the short grass.
You've been listening to From the Short Grass, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.